some of like the misnomers that you guys see of trying to set expectations for clients on what actually happens versus like a lot of just the frequently asked questions and like misguided thoughts that they have when they come in, right? On a consult.
That's pretty interesting because you get a lot of misconceptions, but then you're also dealing with simultaneously the work product of other attorneys that the public's dealt with. And so there's this idea of, I'm going to need my attorney, but if I call, they're not going to answer. And so when Trent and I started the firm early on, that was the first thing we wanted to address is the whole, I can't hear from my attorney. So we said, why is it that you can't call your attorney 24/7? Like, why can't you? If you've got a domestic violence case, your attorney should be the first one you're able to call, right? So that's the first thing we did. And I was wildly single at the time. And so having 24-hour access to me was, no problem. But I've been able to maintain it. Thankfully, I was already doing law and taking calls 24/7 for clients when I met my wife and then got married. So she was on board with it. That's helpful. But I don't know any other firm that does that where it's, 7 p.m. and they want to talk to their attorney. Because the way that it works at our firm, if you call and you can't get a hold of your attorney, then they've got my cell phone on speed dial. So they can call the boss anytime 24/7. I don't even charge for my time. So that's one thing that we wanted to get rid of is the idea that you can't hear from your attorney, but also provide, and deal with the problem of attorneys not answering their phone calls. Because if you were to talk to the bar, it's the number one bar complaint that people make against their attorneys when they're trying to take away their licenses is, I haven't heard from my attorney. So.
Not like the lack of availability.
Yeah.
I can't say that word this morning. I haven't had any coffee.
We're also.
I would expect you're kind of busy though, like in restrict. Like I would think if you were in court and doing stuff like that, and you would have somewhat limited availability. I would think it would be kind of a tough thing to balance.
No, it's actually pretty easy, especially with the advent of the advent of texting. But as technology gets better, it makes it a lot easier. So, for example, if somebody does call me and I'm in court, it'll forward to my office staff, and then at our office, we train our paralegals just like we train our attorneys, literally in the same room when we do trainings.